Hi, this is Katie again, and this is the seventh out of 8 episodes in this season of the Unlearning Lunch and Unlearn session. And this topic today is about unlearning bad workshop results. And next week, we will have the season finale with a summarizing topic, and I'll get back to that towards the end of this live session. Feel free to add any comments you might have as we go along, and I will just kick this off by sharing my presentation. When I talk about bad workshop results and bad workshopping in general, and what we need to unlearn, I'm really fascinated about unlearning per se, as it's important to unlearn a number of things that is not serving us anymore. And when it comes to changing perspectives and establishing new routines, that takes a lot of time and effort, and you need to be persistent in order to succeed. So I'm focusing on this topic because I can see the benefits to more people paying attention to actually unlearning things alongside with learning new things as well. When it comes to unlearning workshop topics, I tend to focus on the different stages of workshopping in terms of preparational work, in terms of execution itself, and even the follow up. And today's topic about results and unlearning bad workshop results will be focusing mostly on the execution, but I will also add some insights to the prep work and the follow up. In order to crack the code, when unlearning something, it is really important to dive into to see what is actually going on, what are the facts in this space. So we need to rely on certain observations, certain facts, and maybe explore that, maybe inquire that, and tap into people's feedback and so on. And when we have done that, we can change the perspective. We can go from situation B to situation C, for instance. And by doing so, making that very consciously, it's possible to create useful practices because it will take practice in order to change a behavior. And who knows how long it will take? Maybe a week, maybe 21 days or 90 days or 180 days. It depends upon how strong this pattern is. And also how much support we get in the surrounding. When it comes to workshopping, we might fight I would say, a workshop culture and a lot of expectations about workshopping that might not always be helpful. And we need to be paying attention to that in order to address it and involve people to make that change so we can unlearn together. And either you are a facilitator for workshops or you are a participant, there will be some things you can pick up today. And I hope you will add your comments and questions even afterwards if you watch this after the actual live stream. So to dive into today's topic about the bad workshop results, there are 3 different areas. And I would love you to think of it as in a, I would say, perspective from managing expectations, because as either as a facilitator, but even as a participant, you can be very aware of this and you can have an influence on how this actually goes about. When it comes to workshops, very often we have clear expectations about the tangible results. What is the policy or the prototype or the design or the document that we're looking to accomplish while running this workshop? And based upon the background and the experience from other people, it will look differently. So, of course, the tangible results can easily be managed expectation wise, but you need also to embed it into the whole setting of the day. More, I would say, rare is focusing on the intangible results, where it might be where the juice is, because in addition to the tangible ones, you want to look for add-on things, right? Like what's bringing value to this situation? Is it a new team? Is it a new manager? Is it a new employee? Is it an attempt to bring 2 teams together? Is it important to create a sense of urgency? Is it important to create a change to culture? Is it important to to establish new ways of working together. So whatever the combination is, by interviewing people up front, key people who are attending the workshop or people who are having expectation, maybe sponsoring the workshop, you will get a lot of insights into which not only tangible but also intangible results you should be looking for. And those are the ones typically very difficult to measure because it will be very subjective based upon a feeling or a sense or a perception of something. But still, it adds a lot of flavor to the experience of the workshop. And in an unlearning bad workshop, we tend to look for what could add to the positive experience coming out of workshops. I love these collaboration initiatives, but I know that many people have a negative association to workshops in general. So by adding a focus on not only the tangible results, but also the intangible results, it will be possible to add to the experience and in a positive way, I would say. The other angle to this is about looking at results from the expected ones in addition to the unexpected ones. And for tangible results, you could have the expected ones, of course, but also probably some things will show up that you didn't expect. And then that creates an opportunity to really add to the sense of accomplishment and great results. Because if we didn't do this workshop, this probably wouldn't have shown up. And by adding this type of community, this type of setting, this type of techniques, we maybe gave birth to something very valuable that could be beneficial that we didn't expect. So keeping an eye on and treasuring the unexpected results without having them, I would say, dominate too much, but make sure that they are embraced and either parked for later work, or maybe you'd make a decision to look more into that during the workshop itself, even though it's not part of the actual expected results. And that means that you need to look out for these derailment possibilities, because in managing this, you could face the challenge of something being really positive, something new arising, emerging from the discussions, from the exercises that could take over. And then as a facilitator or as an influential participant, you need to make sure that the workshop is delivering what is expected as well. So one thing you could consider doing if that happens is, of course, to make sure that you involve the participants in actually generating ideas around it. You can have a voting to make a prioritization. Make sure it gets, I would say, managed and positioned so it's well taken care of, but without derailing the original agenda and the original expectations for the workshop itself. And getting other results than expected is kind of I would say, what I should expect coming out of workshops. Otherwise, you could just have a meeting. So when you launch these type of activities, you use techniques to bring out creativity and to make people feel safe, both in working together, but also working individually together, and make decisions through voting and changing perspectives and adding to the understanding. This should be expected to have unexpected results throughout a workshop. Then finally, in order to capture these things, let's say more intangible results, the unexpected results are tangible or non-tangible, it might be a good idea to add to I would say, reflection exercise towards the end. And I've mentioned this in the past as well, that the value of having people actually reflect about what happened, what proved useful, what was surprising, what was adding that extra takeaway from the session. Being able to share that after some individual reflection time would be really beneficial, and also to tap into the synergies in the room. So I would suggest that you allow time towards the end to have them reflect individually, sharing what they want to share in general, and there will be even more results coming out of that reflection exercise towards the end. So do not underestimate the effect of adding reflection to the exercise, and the workshop agenda itself. So with that, I hope you got some ideas about the value of keeping an eye on both the tangible and the intangible results. You should expect getting unexpected results as well. And a way of actually capturing that is to make sure that there's time enough and safety enough in the room to reflect and share reflections to allow that collaborative learning taking place. I would love, as always, to challenge you. And today's challenge is about the type of results. So, whenever you're up for your next workshop, either as a facilitator or as a participant, which intangible results could you contribute to in your next workshop? So, what is it that you could not only look for when you're there, but also maybe set expectations for or initiate somehow before? What could that be about? What would be extra beneficial to add to the equation so you make sure that there are lots of synergies across the team and across the participants? Okay, I'll leave you with that challenge. And then finally, I'll set the scene for the season finale next week. It will be about actually summarizing the key insights and also the sentiments about bad workshopping. I'm here in order to inspire more people to feel good about workshops, to feel excited about workshops. So this will be an important, I would say, takeaway in order to think differently about workshops if, in fact, your workshop climate is more towards the negative side of things. If you need to change that around, if you want to have a more positive workshop culture, and I hope you will take part of that, and I will want to welcome you back next week for that. Meanwhile, as always, I will also remind you about the extra exercise I've done for you. As a 20-minute recorded video where you can learn more about workshop insights in general, and you will find it via bit.ly/workshop hacks. So with that, I want to let you go for this time. I hope you'll be back next week, and enjoy workshopping and plan your workshop carefully and involve people before the workshop. Doesn't matter if you're a facilitator or a participant or a sponsor, you can think these things through beforehand, and then hopefully you will experience great results, of at least some of them are really unexpected. So good luck with that. Take care. Bye for now.